nice catch on your part.
It was my turn this week.
Oh, they were not happy with that.
What?
Yep, hang on. We got to get the song in. That's what the show is. It's Dogs on the Run. Who day? Who day? Oh, who day yesterday?
Who ain't they? Who ain't they?
Boy, did they underestimate the Browns yesterday.
Big time. Big time. I think the Browns just solidified that they're one of the best defenses in the NFL. Hands down. I mean, the first week you're like, okay. Second week, if you're not convinced by now, 63 yards rushing, you still haven't allowed 100-yard rushing to any of the teams that they've played so far. Legit. Legit. Ray Horton, legit.
All right, here we go. We're ready to roll. It is Dogs on the Run. If you want to Skype in, of course, it's Dogs on the Run on Skype. You can call in at 216-431-3820. Josh Cribbs is going to join us in a moment. Again, 216-431-3820. And as we do to get the show rolling, we always go back to the newsroom, check in with Connor Kiesel. Connor, what's the word on the web today?
How's it going, guys? Talking about the big win for the Browns. It's a great day in Cleveland sports. And question posed on social media, we're asking on Facebook. Do you think the Browns will finish with a better record than the Steelers? Right now they're 2-2. Steelers are 0-4. Is it going to stay that way? Hashtag Dogs on the Run. You can let us know.
All right, who should we mess with today? Who's behind you? We got Macy in the back.
Macy's
we got,
there.
Janet's photobombing
There's
you.
Macy.
Photobomb.
Burn. Nice.
Look at Mace. There's Mace in the back.
All right, ask Burn. First of all, just go around the room real quick. Ask her what she thought of the game yesterday. Burn.
What'd you
Fantastic.
No, really, talk with your mouth full of food. That's cool.
Sorry, I'm eating breakfast.
Yeah, we figured
I
that.
feel that the defense, very strong.
Yes.
We need a little bit of help in the offense area. Brian Hoyer, he's going to take us through. He's the answer.
Wow, she's good, Connor. You might be losing your seat
I
there.
know. She's going to be in here next hit, I think.
And she did that in like a sound bite. That is true reporter fashion right there. That's how fast they move on the morning show. Boom, 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 boom. Burn, shut up. What do you got? Boom, boom, boom. Go, go, go.
All right, what's Macy doing back there? What was Macy's prediction for the game? And she's pretty. What is Macy doing? Is she coming around?
Yes, she's coming around.
Can she hear us?
She's coming.
Oh,
You got to look around.
How about that photobomb with the
We got a
seed?
Why are we
bandwagon
getting
crowd.
flagged? Hang on, we're
Oh,
getting
here,
flagged.
Macy. You got to talk into the mic.
I fed Kristen everything she just told you.
Oh, she did.
You dittoed it?
Can
That
you
was
tell
all
Macy to step
my
in front of
work.
the camera, please?
Step in
I
front.
said it all.
Step in front. We got to see the camera. It's there.
You got in the camera.
Where's the
There we go.
camera?
By the way, if you're listening to the show, we're in our newsroom right now. Macy McGinnis.
I said I fed Kristen all that information. That was all my stuff.
All right, well, that's good. Well, thank you for being a bright, sunshiny
lying.
spot for three ugly
Nice
guys that are
bird.
now on a mobile cast right now.
I will tell you this. I was at like I said, I was at a volleyball game yesterday, so we couldn't watch, and nobody there could. But everybody had earpieces in their ears, yelling and screaming between the Browns and the Indians. They were paying more attention to what they couldn't see than the actual game in front of them. So it was really awesome to see all that excitement.
All right, Macy, you know we love you, and we'll see you on our high school football show, the McDonald's 5 on your sidelines. What, 2 weeks, right? 2 weeks?
Yes, that's perfect.
All right, you're on in 2 weeks.
I'm there.
Connor, we'll check back in with you again. If they want to get a hold of you through social media, what are they doing?
Use hashtag Dogs on the Run. Join our chat right below the live stream player if you're watching on the web.
And who's photobombing us with the Indians gear in the back?
That's James Pollock. He has drive fever.
James wants to talk Indians.
He
So,
caught
you
it.
know, we'd love to talk Indians if you get in on a phone call, but we are Dogs on the Run, so we're talking a little bit of Browns this morning.
But remember,
Thank you.
You can't spell October without a C in it for Cleveland.
There you go. Thank you.
How about that?
All right, so Dogs on the Run on Skype. If you're on your phone, 216-431-3820. Again, if you're getting dressed this morning, you're heading off to work, and you're just trying to figure out what you want to do this morning on your way into work, seriously, just download the Newsnet 5 app and listen to us in your car on the way to work. It's so simple. All you have to do is Bluetooth into your car system, or you can USB in. Every new car's got those. Every car probably for the last 5 years probably has a USB to do that too. So we invite you to listen in. You can just enjoy the conversation because that's what we'll be doing all morning. Josh Cribbs is going to join us in just a few moments here on Dogs on the Run, as he does each and every week. I'm interested to hear what he has to say about yesterday's game. I mean, I got to be honest, Mike, I can't remember the last time I've been this happy in Northeast Ohio. Not only because of the Browns, but because of the Indians. Even the Monsters won yesterday. And the Steelers are 0-4. And I'm trying to weigh these things out. Should I be happy in another team's misery? Probably not. I mean, you know, the Steelers have been able to rub it in our faces for a while. Cincinnati's been able to rub it in our – who they what?
Who ain't they? That's what it is. Who ain't they? Because a lot of people picked them to go deep in the playoffs, win the division.
Super Bowl.
Maybe be a Super Bowl team, although I didn't think they were a Super Bowl type of team. But I thought they'd win the division. Well, guess what? Look who's on top of the division, three-way tie.
I'd be interested to hear from anybody from Cincinnati if they're listening in this morning to hear what they have to say about this, because you were humiliated yesterday. And I don't know what team is showing up if you're Cincinnati. You went into the season with great expectations, and now all of a sudden you're 2-2 on the season? Really? What happened to Cincinnati? Everybody thought this was a Super Bowl team.
I'll tell you what happened to Cincinnati. Joe Hayden happened to A.J. Green. Buster Screen happened to just about everybody out there. That front seven was unbelievable. And think about it. It was a domination, Andy, because Cundiff misses 2 field goals. If Tosh Gizem doesn't pick that ball, that set up another field goal. It would have been 23-3 would have been your final, and it would not even have been close. So the fact that the 6 points were a gimme from the Browns defense. They were feeling good yesterday, but it was really a complete domination. If you take away a couple of things that they should have locked down, it wasn't close.
All right, let's just kind of regroup here. Eric, the referee, clearly not doing anything that he should be doing. What are you playing, Skidoo over there? Skodu or whatever I forgot what that game's called. What's it called?
Sudoku.
Sudoku, yeah. What are you doing over there?
I'm just having a good time. I mean, I'm ready. I'm waiting for you to take Josh Cribbs. He's waiting patiently.
Oh, Josh is ready? Okay, we'll go to Josh.
Josh is ready.
Wait, seriously, how many microphones do you need?
At least 5.
Okay, well, that's good. Throw a flag on yourself.
You muted me
Throw a
once,
flag on yourself.
and I'm back.
Sit in the corner and throw a flag on yourself.
Throw it up.
Okay.
Throw it up. Throw the flag up.
Throw the flag.
Throw it up. Where's the flag? Throw it up.
Flag's over by you. You
Oh, it
need
is?
to take
Oh,
the
you
flag
chucked
back.
it. All right,
Oh,
we're
I
done
forgot.
waiting. Well, Josh Cribbs has got to go here. Josh, what do we got going on this morning? What a great win for the Browns yesterday. They win 70-6 over the Bengals. I say, who day? What?
What you guys doing? Good morning.
Good morning to
Josh.
you, Josh.
Right back.
Hey, Josh, we're having a little trouble with your Skype line this morning. Let's have you call back in 2 seconds. We're going to reestablish that line. Oh, we're good? Everything's good now?
You can hear him?
Boy, you guys are good over there. We have the best technical team in the world. All right, Josh, can we hear you?
Can I hear you? Can you hear me?
Oh,
Yep.
yeah, much better.
There we go.
All right,
There we
Josh,
go.
your thoughts on yesterday's game, and let's get to today's Cribbs notes.
All right. First, you guys mentioned it. Joe Hayden's a Bengals primary, off attack. A.J. Green. I mean, week in, week out, he's making a campaign for appearance and just shutting down the week's best, offensive threat. He's been shown to,
Hey, Josh,
guys.
just real quick, we're having trouble with your microphone on your end, so that's the beauty of Skype. Let's just hang up, we'll call back, and we'll do this again in like 2 seconds. So we'll just reestablish and we'll do it again. It's the beauty of the internet, and that's why we're all a part of it, and it's all kind of a growing thing. So Josh will be back in 2 seconds. We'll talk to him. If you want to Skype in, DAWGS on the Run, DAWGS on the Run, or call us at 216-431-3820, and we will establish a good line with Josh there, and you'll be able to hear him. And we'll move forward with that. This is a short week for the Browns this week. They get right back at it with Buffalo on Thursday night. Buffalo had a nice win yesterday against the Ravens, so I don't think you can take them too lightly.
No, not at all. It was a big win at home. And again, they're going to have to be something to be reckoned with because Buffalo can run the football. They're a multi-dimensional team. They can put the ball in the air. They like to throw the ball down the field. So it's going to be a good test for the Browns defense again. And how about one of the key stats yesterday? 9 for 18 on third down, Andy, 50% for the Browns. And we're talking some of the third down conversions, 3rd and 11, 3rd and 12, 3rd and 8. I mean, they weren't your 3rd and 1 conversions. So give the Browns a lot of credit that they were able to keep drives alive. And we're talking long drives. Once they went 95, 91. Both of those were over 6.5-minute drives. I mean, that's the kind of stuff that you like to see. I mean, Rob Jasinski, he's got to be a happy guy this morning because his offense grinded out drives. His defense finished is what you need to do in the fourth quarter, and this team in the second half has been able to put some teams away. And again, that's a quality win over the Bengals. That's a really good football team. Now, in a short week, the key is, can they turn it around, take that same intensity, they're back home again, and put that into Buffalo, knowing that it's going to be another 10 days before they come around and play another football game.
All right, let's see. Eric, the referee, I want to make sure that before we go back to Josh, everything's cool. Are we kosher with Josh?
We are not right now. We're having some issues.
We're not
It's
kosher.
my fault. I'm throwing a flag on myself.
You can't throw the flag over to us.
You just
need
flip
to
it up
keep
in the air.
Yourself.
I know.
We may have to throw a red flag on you.
I know.
We'll have to go back and check it out.
You're
All
gonna
right,
you're gonna
Eric,
have to challenge my call.
Oh, you are cut off from airtime until we get Josh Cribbs up, so you're done. I look at this Browns team, and I look at Brian Hoyer in particular, and I'm like, okay, what's the difference between Brandon Weeden and Brian Hoyer when it comes to your Cleveland Browns? Well, I think the first and foremost thing that when I look at Brian Hoyer And the difference between him and Brandon Whedon is his ability to throw a touch pass. And he has been able to read the field. Look, I don't know what's going on with Brandon Whedon. I don't know what he saw that no one else saw. But I think if you just give it the eye test, and it's nothing personal against Brandon Whedon, it's just a matter of fact that Brian Hoyer, it appears to see the field a lot better. Yes, he has Josh Gordon. Brandon Whedon did not. So, but the biggest difference is it's just like the touchdown to Obanai yesterday. It was just so perfect, and it wasn't overthrown, and it was on the money. And you see that time in and time out. By the way, we're not talking about any interceptions today for Brian Hoyer either.
No, we're not.
So he's been able to learn and overcome what happened in the first week by making decisions that might have been a little different. And maybe it wasn't New York Times on New Year's Eve for Brian Hoyer yesterday at home because he was at home. And I think there were a lot of things that were going on. I thought it was interesting after the game when Hoyer talked about the victory, talked about the team win. One of the first things he said, and this is, I think, one of the reasons why he gets it. Now, I spent most of the weekend not really doing anything crazy. I just almost lost my mic there. But one of the things that I think he said that was really pertinent to Cleveland sports fans after the game was he recognized how big of a win this was for the franchise, and then he immediately said, and the Indians are winning. And I think that is what locks into you, Cleveland sports fans. It locks into me. There's no way you can't avoid that. You know, when you hear the quarterback, the most high-profile position in town, no matter what job it is, the quarterback of the Cleveland Browns, when he comes out and mentions the Indians and has a realization of what this city is all about and what the fans of this city are all about and is linked in and can kind of, you know, grab a hold of what you talk about every day at work the same way he does because he's from here, I think that makes a big difference, and I think that that's exciting for Browns fans, and it makes him very, very human.
Well, he said, I'm from Cleveland. This is my town. That's how he kind of opened up. He goes, I know how the fans feel about this football team. I know how they feel about their sports here in Cleveland. And that was the first thing that he said right off the bat in his press conference. So he made it well aware. He better than anybody knew how important yesterday's wins were, and I'm wins plural, talking about the Indians as well, to the city of Cleveland. Because standing outside doing my live shot yesterday for the 6 o'clock news, I can't tell you how many people, and we're just talking, wanted to stop, talk, and they were talking about everything. They were talking about Indians. They're talking about Browns. They're talking about playoffs. I mean, there was such a buzz going around that stadium yesterday. It was unbelievable, and you just felt so happy for our city. You know, yesterday was the day you're like, you know, we do get a lot of crap for a lot of different things, like that GQ article. I'd still like to wring that guy's neck for the worst sports franchises, and at the top he listed the Browns, Cavs, and Indians.
Well, yeah, but it's GQ. Are you really reading it for sports?
No,
really
but still,
GQ?
for somebody to write that kind of misinformation and not back it up with quality stuff was kind of stupid on my part. And he got ripped, by the way, by Keith Olbermann, who wrote an even better article. If you ever get a chance, if you follow Keith Olbermann on Twitter, look it up, read it. It's unbelievable. He just tore the guy apart for getting on the city. So my point is, it was a great day yesterday, and it's a day it's long overdue. And I'm happy for you guys out there. That's who I'm happy for, the people that live and die with these sports teams, including your Browns, to have a day like yesterday. I'm sure people are still buzzing today. I guarantee there'll be a lot of work production done. I guarantee a lot of people got into work
because
early.
they're trying to get everything in before Wednesday and Thursday.
Well, I didn't say
you
why.
Get stuff, I mean, because you got the Indians on Wednesday night and you got the Browns on Thursday.
Why.
I mean, this is going to be a crazy, crazy week here.
It's going to be a great week.
In Northeast Ohio.
It's going to be a great week.
I can't think of anything more fun than to be downtown this week on Wednesday or Thursday. This is what, I mean, we sit around and we talk about, what the city can be, what it's going to be, what direction it's heading in. You will see the best. If the Indians and Browns win this week on Wednesday and Thursday, you will see the best of what Cleveland has to offer as far as nightlife and as far as excitement. And I mean, I am really, really looking forward to this week here. Again, I can't remember a week since the Cavaliers made the NBA Finals that we've had this much excitement, this much energy in the city. And I think what's important for the Browns is that you go back to before Game 1 of this season and, you know, how excited we were and how great things were going to be as far as the Browns were going to be. And then you go into the first 2 weeks of the season and they lay an egg. But everyone thought they gave up on the season when they traded Trent Richardson. Here we are 2 weeks later, and everybody's back on board.
Yeah.
So, again, winning cures all. All right, Josh is going to join us on the phone line because we don't want to miss Josh. Hi, Josh. How are you?
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, much better, much better. Hey, thanks for calling in. We know it was kind of a change of pace there for you. All right, let's go through your Cribs notes here when you get a second, and tell us what you thought about yesterday's game.
Okay, first, guys, as I was saying, you know, week in and week out. You know, Joe Hayden is continuing his campaign for his first, Pro Bowl, appearance. You know, he shuts down these, primary, wide receivers week in and week out, and you guys have to, know how important that is for an offense to be, to shut down one side of the field when a receiver is being, blacked out like that. You know, A.J. Green was, got a couple receptions here and there, but they were minimal. You know, no big impacts from their big wide receiver, A.J. Green, and that was important. You know, second, the Browns' defensive front, including DeQuell Jackson, he's all over the place. They're getting sacks. Mingo, he's showing up, week in and week out. Dez Bryant, these guys are instrumental in putting pressure on the quarterback and making, teams come in and have to face a dynamic defense, and they're showing up. And consistency is what I was talking about, and they're showing it. Third, Brian Hoyer's ability to work the offense. And when I mean work the offense, I mean spread the ball around. Josh Gordon had, about 4 receptions, but they were instrumental. 33 yards here and there, and it came at times where they need to prolong the drive, and it's instrumental in that offense. Jordan Cameron, week in and week out, he is showing up every week, and that's great for this team. So his ability, not only to spread the ball around and move it to backs, tight ends, and receivers, but just to flow through the offense, stepping up in the pocket, making the right, throws here and there. He's showing up week in and week out his first 2 weeks, and Brian Hoyer is going to be the quarterback for his team, and he's looking to make things happen for this Browns offense, and I'm excited. The Browns are playing really good football right now, guys.
Josh, one of the things that Andy asked, we're trying to get you back in. What do you notice the difference right now between Brandon Weeden and Brian Hoyer?
Just his simple, poise in the pocket. He doesn't have the best ball. He doesn't put everything perfectly on the numbers and perfect to wide receiver. Brandon Weeden has a better ball. But as far as, running the offense fluently, stepping up in the pocket, moving around, timing with other receivers, and he's very comfortable back there as well, that poise that I'm talking about. Sometimes Brandon, Weeden is a little jittery in the pocket. Might take him a while to warm up, and it's not happening for Hoyer. He's getting back in the pocket. Again, I go back to that word poise. You see him go through his progressions and pick out the receivers, and that happens, when you spread the ball around like that. You tend to, to be more, collective in the pocket and work the offense more fluently when you're poised, when you're calm. And it looks like, he has that, ability over Weeden.
Josh, can you talk about, Brian Hoyer in the aspect that he really didn't work with the ones until about 2 weeks ago? And there's a lot of pressure, and you understand this pressure probably better than anybody else because you played at Kent State. There's a lot of Kent State alumni in here, and I'm sure you're getting phone calls for tickets, and I'm sure people are like, hey, Josh, can you get us into the game, or can we get this, get that? I can only imagine what it's like for the quarterback of the Cleveland Browns and what he's been able to do mentally to take over this position.
Definitely. Like I said last week, this was a third-string quarterback who was running a scout team. That's what third-string quarterbacks do in the NFL. They run the scout team. They don't really, plan on, making plays and getting in the game. And when they called his number last week, he showed up. When they called his number this week, he showed up. And he's not putting up big Peyton Manning numbers, but he's running this offense, and he's spreading the ball around, like I said. So week in and week out, he has to show consistency. He does that. He did that for the second week in a row, and it was unexpected. We all thought the Browns try to tank their season, but we finding a jewel. It's a reason that he's starting over the second string, and it's a reason for it, and the coaches saw it. So, where we all thought that the Browns was tanking the season, they were just getting started, and they found it in Brian Hoyer.
All right, Josh, thank you. We're going to join you in a little bit here. Hopefully we can get your Skype line back up, and if not, we'll talk to you on the phone because the conversation is just as good whether we can see you or not. So thank you, Josh. Appreciate it.
All right, guys. Check in back with me.
We'll catch back up with Josh a little bit later in the show. All right, I want to go to one of our good friends here on the show as well. Kenny Rhoda joins us on the phone line as well. Kenny, first of all, great job doing the Ohio State coverage right here on News Channel 5 and Newsnet 5 on Saturday. We appreciate that.
Had a blast. It was a lot of fun. A good game, much closer than we wanted it to be. I don't know why Urban Meyer took his foot off the accelerator in the second half. They got to get that cleaned up for the big game that you'll see on News Channel 5 on Saturday night against Northwestern.
There you go, Kenny. Look at he's
already got him trained.
We got him. He knows how to do the promos and the plugs. All right, Kenny, your assessment of the Browns yesterday. What a shocker it was that they were able to beat who day? Who? What? Huh?
I'm totally shocked. What did I tell you after we did the post-game show? I thought they were going to lose and Hoyer was going to get picked 2 or 3 times because there was film out on him. But the Bengals secondary was so banged up, and that played into the hands of Brian Hoyer. And I thought the Browns defense did a phenomenal job applying pressure to Andy Dalton, who looked totally confused and afraid. He missed A.J. Green about, 6 times. Buster's screen was beat 2 or 3 times, and luckily for Buster, his best friend was Andy Dalton, missing him. But Joe Hayden did a good job on A.J. Green. Barkevius Mingo, for his first start, 4 tackles, 2 tackles for a loss, a sack, 1 or 2 batted balls. The defense has been consistent, guys, all 4 games. The offense has been consistent the last 2 games, and the difference there is Hoyer over Brandon Wheaton. So to me, no question about it, you start Brian Hoyer on Thursday night against the Buffalo Bills.
I don't think there's any question.
Kenny, how about just the offense in particular? You got 2 long scoring drives, 95, 91, over 6.5 minutes, both of those drives. They're 9 of 18 on third down. You're converting 50% of your third downs. We're not talking 3rd and 1s. They're converting 3rd and 8s. There's a 3rd and 16, a 3rd and 11. I mean, Brian Hoyer had about as good a command as you're going to see of the guys that were out there making plays, moving the football, and then finishing in the 4th quarter.
The one thing I thought that was really important yesterday, guys, even though they didn't run it for a great yards per carry average, only 3.0 yards per carry, they ran it 30 times. And you have to do that to take some of the pressure off of Brian Hoyer. He can't throw it 55 times a game, 50 times a game. You need to try and establish the run and at least show the run, because they have to at least respect that. And I think that opens things up in the passing game. So while McGahee and Rainey and Obaniah didn't do a great job of running the ball, at least they attempted to run the ball. Better balance on offense yesterday, 38 passes, 30 runs. I thought that was very important, even though it doesn't look good in the box score.
All right, let's talk about Jordan Cameron for a second, because yesterday they targeted him 10 times, or he ended up with 10 receptions. They targeted him 10 times yesterday, and he is just a beast. I asked 2 questions. 1, were injuries the reason that we didn't see enough of him last year? And 2, did they have any idea what they had last year with Pat Shurmur, understanding on how to use Jordan Cameron?
Let's give credit where credit is due to Tom Heckert. He's the guy that drafted Jordan Cameron because of the trend in the NFL of basketball players in college making the transition to tight end in the NFL. So they knew what they had. The problem with him, and why I didn't rank him very high coming into this season, although I thought he could have a decent year because of the way North Turner uses his tight ends, is because he was always hurt. Could he stay on the field? That was my biggest question mark as we did our preseason breakdown of the Browns with Jordan Cameron. Could he stay on the football field and actually contribute to the Cleveland Browns offense? I think we knew he had the athleticism. The question was he going to be able to stay healthy and be out there game in and game out and not miss 4, 5, 6 games or have a nagging injury all season? And so far, knock on wood, he's been healthy, and he's been one of the most dominant players at the tight end position in the league so far this year.
All right, Kenny, we're going to catch back up with you a little bit later in the show. Hopefully we'll get you on Skype, but we appreciate you calling in. Great job on the Ohio State show the other night, and we'll get more on this game, and I want to talk to you about the defense a little bit later in the show. Thanks, Kenny.
Okay.